Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire. Last episode we had, well, Randy doubled down on everything. He gave me 2 mech attacks, he gave me 2 toxic events, he gave me 2 droner events. I hope he's done. I hope he's done, cause I feel like I've been viciously punished. I don't want to be punished anymore. Yep, just don't want to be punished anymore. So, we've got our deep drill over here in order to obtain some additional uranium, because we had to use our slug turrets a lot, and it would be good to get my slug turret reloaded with all the spare ammo and the like. We are still rearming a bunch of these turrets here as well, because of course we had to lay into the enemies with guns, many guns. I did have some feedback from you all, so let me cover the feedback real quick. Just little tips here. So Chelsea mentioned that I have some sapper turrets that aren't home zone covered. That's pretty good observation, and it would be true. Oh, and this one too. So there we go. Some of the perimeter here without. I do have, of course, this whole monument without home zone, but I don't really actually intend to home zone that. Viper mentions, would it not be a good idea to move my comms console somewhere indoors? Well, you know what? Yeah, that actually does seem like a very reasonable and obviously smart idea, so I'll get that done too. And then also was mentioned that one of my... Oh no, they're all wired up. Never mind. That all of my little power cells, my unstable power cells, are all nicely wired up. Okay, so we're starting on the bionic eyes in order to become more accurate with our weapons. A unique deal. So 3 bionic hearts, I think, is a pretty reasonable thing to do. Now, here's the interesting thing. I'm going to accept, I bet you didn't see this coming, for the goodwill. Yeah. So after this bionic eye, we'll make the other ones later, and I will make the 3 bionic hearts. I guess the tribals need a heart. I don't know. There's some sort of Wizard of Oz story there, if I was to inspect. So here is a new comms console. You can't move comms consoles. Ooh, and I just happened to have hit compacted steel that was under my nose the whole time. So that's cool. I'm gonna have to fill it in with steel, regular old steel, so that it doesn't become a spawner. But that's cool. I like it. Let's take a look at all my turrets. So some of them might need manual forced reloading. It depends on how reloaded we'll feel safe. But let's get our slag going again. And Mr. Gabe, I'm gonna check the toxic buildup, making sure no one is beyond initial, and they aren't. Because of course, if they were beyond initial, I would probably want to restrict them. It is not quite as hot as it used to be, so I'm going to shut off some of these extra coolers just so they don't possibly break down. I don't think we need all coolers on deck. I'm just going to decide to roll with it and let them auto rearm what they want to rearm, but don't force it. We have a Psychic Soothe male, so maybe Randy is apologizing for all the nasty things he tried to do to us most recently. Or maybe not. Randy Random is random. He's fickle and he's mean. Unpredictable. Almost to a fault. So here's all our spare shells when we want a mortar. I did mention that I thought it would be a good idea to have EMPs. So I'm going to build some EMPs in my base. I'm going to build 4 of them. And then if we need to use them, we can use them. I never used Phoenix's Inspired Creativity for construction, but given his skill level, I really don't think that it would have yielded me anything phenomenal. And I didn't really have anything I needed to make anyway, so. All right, let's continue mining this steel that I found. That ship chunk we can get sometime later. I don't really need to go outside right now. I'd like to stay inside if I could. All right, so these EMP shells need to get constructed. And we're just probably going to spend a sizable amount of time at home because of the, you know, toxic fallout. All right, so these turrets here, or these IEDs here, rather, I'm going to uninstall. And then I think what I'll do is I'm going to stockpile them here and here. I'll just call it EMP IED 1. Have it be important. That manufactured, or actually it would be buildings. Security, ID, EMP traps, copy and paste. Copy the name and paste the name. I don't want to have them all the time installed. And the reason being, because sometimes the fights just aren't significant enough to warrant them. So I always have them deployed. It'd be a waste of material. But I have them in the kill box here so that if I do need to deploy them and use them, they're close to where I need to set them up. Possibly. Obviously, there's isolated cases where maybe the enemies land behind my base or something, but let's just assume that that isn't the case. Okay, we've got no wildlife. That is no surprise at all. A dwindling amount of nutrient paste meals. We're about at 100 now. And we are starting to make the bionic hearts. We're going to have to crank out some additional advanced components for it, so it's going to take a little bit of time and energy. But time and energy that, given our toxic fallout quarantine, I guess is technically what it is, we've got it. We've got the time and energy. And I'm going to start walling up this insect spawning risk here. Stay fortified should include this whole zone so that we can secure it. And then I'm also going to add a home zone to it so that we're able to repair it if it ever takes damage. I don't know why it would be damaged, but if it does, we can repair it. Pretty soon we should have a nice excess of rice. And part of this was so that we can make nutrient paste meals out of the rice and efficiently feed our pets with renewable resources, because we're most certainly running low on that. Now, another question is, for the quests, the unique deal, what is the range of my pods? That is a question, right? So let's load up 1T just to check. Okay, so easily I can get out there. Now, if I'm going to be delivering it to them, I'm going to need Raptor to probably be out there to shuttle home. Oh, it looks to me like he is ready for a throne speech. Please don't screw this one up, because the last one was uninspiring and it hurt my feelings. So I have a 85% chance of a good speech here. Wish me luck. That's all I'm gonna say. I believe I had a roughly 85% chance last time too. Oh, war merchants coming in because it is temperate. I'm gonna want to trade with them quickly because, okay, it's encouraging. That's good. Because they might leave due to temperature, which means I have to be ready to run and chase them. But they don't seem to mind the toxic fallout. All right, so we'll head on out. I'm going to temporarily add this area to stay fortified so that anything we do trade can be moved. And these war merchants are going to buy what? Tattered clothing. Okay. I mean, hey, if you want it. My old coronet. And some of the statues. Now, is there anything I want to buy from you? Because right now, the trade is a little bit one-sided. No. Oh, well, there is a crab, but it's even an older crab than cauterize. But I could buy the crab and then butcher it. Why not? All right, you are going to go into pets inside. And Raptor is going to haul the silver. Phoenix is going to haul the rest of the silver. It's a very, very, very expensive crab to buy. But I'm not looking to replace cauterize. So we'll just butcher him up. Okay, removing this from state fortified. And Bash the animal handler should be butchering this crab now. There it is. The filth of that blood has not registered yet. So that's a lot of chitin. And it's 240 meat. So yeah, I would say it was worth it. Decidedly, undoubtedly worth it. So here, this is the chitin. So let's do 2 more dusters and 2 more cowboy hats. Just so that we can have excellent heat protective clothing. And then we have gorilla wool for the cold stuff. So let's do 2 more parkas. And then 2 more toques. It's a lot of work for JD. Poor JD's going like, dude, I'm so busy. You accepted a quest for me to make hearts, and then you're having me make like an onslaught of brand new clothing. Yeah, I know. All right, they're leaving the map because of dangerous temperature. That's probably good, given the toxic fallout. They should leave anyway. So this whole basin here, I'm going to replace it with psychoid plants, because if I'm going to be delivering the bionic hearts, I would like some drugs to be able to trade with my neighbors. So yeah, I guess I'm going to be a drug lord. Yep. I didn't think I was going to take this series there, but there we went. I'm going to be moving these heaters so that I could put another bench in between there. And we have 2 of 3 hearts now. If Bash is asleep... actually, you know what? JD, I'm going to have you take the Bionic Eye. You're a shooter, and you are a crafter. So if you take a look at the skill, quality, whatever you want to call it, the speed... the site importance max of general labor and general work is obviously not benefited by site, but if we take a look at like mechanoid shredding, or no, what's the other one I want? My brain is sort of slow today. Some of the stuff he does, like construction and whatnot, might be benefited. Oh, also medical, because he is our backup med. So it's going to be good. But primarily it's because he's a shooter. And he's a ridiculously good shooter that a Bionic Eye would be of benefit. But there's a bunch of other skills. He is our backup doctor. So being the backup doctor and the shooter, it helps to have a Bionic Eye. So we have some psychoid leaves here, and what I'm going to be doing is make tea until 80, I guess, is fine. And then the rest of it is going to go here, not... So what is this? Important. So the rest of it is going to go as preferred. This will be raw resource plant matter psychoid leaves. And then we're going to be making drugs out of it. So there's the question of, do we want flake or yayo? So flake is 4 leaves for $14. And yayo is 8 leaves for $21. But yayo is also an ingredient of go juice. So for that reason, I'm going to be making batches of yayo instead of flake. And we are going to reduce the ingredient radius down to a small amount so as to not use the leaves up here that are specifically needed for tea. So we're separating our tea from our everything else. Smoke leaf joints. Okay. That's probably not where that belongs. This butchery should be preferred. Or even normal. So as the leaves go where they're supposed to be. Gabe's doing a really good job of replenishing our uranium. I'm sort of curious how much uranium is left, so let me turn on the ground pen. There is a lot more uranium in this node. There's 6, almost 800, just shy of 800 uranium left. But I might want to start to ground scan anyway. Because at some point, I will run that node out and we'll want to add more. So I'm making the advanced components for the last bionic heart. Once we get 4 advanced components, a new heart shall be made. And we'll get that out to our trade partners. Oh, I don't think there's dead power here. Oh, that is a nasty explosion. Speaking of dead power, it would make sense for me to be able to dead power flick on and off my heaters. So I'm going to add dead power for most of these heater coolers so that I can, from a distance, toggle their states. That was a YouTube comment that I apologize. I forget who suggested that, but that is obviously a good idea. So there's some strategically placed dead power so that I can turn these coolers on and off quickly. I should also have dead power close to the heaters as well, but I don't really like looking at dead power everywhere, so I'm going to limit the amount that I add in. Where's my advanced components? Why are they down here? Oh, because the advanced components, were they set to be here? Components and advanced components. Okay, so let's have advanced components share a bench with gold. Ooh, some free silver. Oh man, it almost hit our monument. Oh, Randy. I'm glad your aim ain't what it used to be. That would be a really funny... What would be the punishment for that? Oh god, it would have been a it would have been a sizable mech raid. Looks like Toxic Fallout is over. That's good. I'm going to unrestrict everybody because it's not very hot out right now. You know, we're in between seasons, so perfectly fine time to be out there. Gonna remove that dead mech thing there. I'll put it back in if we need it. And then Gabe should be going for the silver, and he is. Good. I may also want to move the deep drill that was getting uranium up to gold. It looks to me like we are going to need to scan for more gold because we're just about out. We only have like 60 something gold left up there. So we'll just start. And now that we're heading into a new season, I guess I should use the dead power, huh? Boom. Now that we're heading into a new season, I'm going to fill up the chimneys. Let me get these turned on and then connected to dead power. Oh, and we have a new baby crab. Congrats to our new parents, and unfortunately, I'm going to basically be immediately killing them. So some things aren't going to get turned off with this new season, like the coolers, the freezer coolers. Some of them can, but not all of them. So I'll try to get rid of some of the power drain. I suppose another thing I could do to help out is to add a door in here. And we have a combat supplier flying overhead. Nice. Let's remove the roof on here and trade with the combat supplier. I'm not really sure what there is to buy. That's the last bionic heart I'm making. And that way, in this way I can... I'll even do 2. And that way I can sort of pick what I want roofed off. Oh, we have someone passing by too. Well, welcome. Richard Devlin Parker. Oh, your name is Richard as a female? I love it. Pretty, cyclically doll, great memory. It's too bad I can't recruit you. All right, Raptor, let's see about the trade. I have flesh shaping if I wanted to buy it. It's a little expensive. Yeah, it's a little pricey. So I'm gonna turn that opportunity down. So now with these additional chimneys, the separation of 2 chimneys, what I can do is just power on only as much as I want. So let's see if, yeah, we should be able to freeze this with just half of the freezers that I previously had. And taking a look at the roof zone. Yeah, everything looks right. So soon we're going to be powering up our heaters instead of coolers. That is the last heart we wanted. What is Raptor doing? Okay, so Raptor is working on research. I'm actually going to turn off the research bench, which probably should have its own dead power, and start to do Grand Pen radar scans in order to obtain some additional ground resources. While Gabe mines up the rest of the gold that's up here. So he already got all the silver. So I've got about 13 days for the unique deal, delivering a bunch of hearts for Goodwill. I am taking Goodwill just to have another ally. Now, I know that I can't rely upon tribals to call them in for help or favors, because they're tribals after all, but I don't really care. Tribal or not, they're going to be my allies. All right, we are assuredly filling up on our rice now. That's pretty cool. JD is very much struggling to try to get everything that I wanted crafted. And we are starting to need... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on all of my heaters and then try to get dead power on for all of them so they can all turn off when I want them off. So obviously I don't need all of these heaters on. So this heater's set to 24. This is 26. All right, so some of these heaters I'm going to flick off until I need them. And I don't have dead power constructed yet, so some of these heaters are just... I mean, most of them are idle here, so it's using 18 watts, not the full 200 or whatever. But JD or Bash will get to, and Phoenix will get to constructing the dead power. Phoenix actually is hauling right now. Let me switch your priorities, because Bash is cooking, so it would help. All right, so that is dead power. And here is additional dead power. There. So the cabling is a little ugly because it's going through bedrooms and whatnot, but there, I can have additional dead power. I'll have to cycle the networks a bit, but it should be a little prettier when it's all turned off. All right. Yeah, let's make these prettier. Cool. Okay, so now JD is working on just regular advanced components to get back to the accompanying. We have all the hearts that we need. I am going to switch over now from shooter to, or summer to winter. And Raptor just stays royal because he doesn't really have seasonal equipment. Oh, it looks to me like switching over the gear forced them out of their helmets. So let me fix that. Winter Brawler. All right. So now they'll be allowed to wear helmets again. If it gets really cold, I can force them into toques. But that's only if it's so frosty that they can't survive. And I think that will likely happen, I'm sure. But until it does. All right, Mr. Raptor. I don't have a lot to trade. But would you like to do the trip out to delivering the goods and the heart? So that would look like something like this. Taking Raptor, the Bionic Hearts. What else do I want to sell them? I'm not actually sure. I guess I'll bring silver. Now, I know the caravan mass will have me immobilized, but I'm taking a shuttle home, so that's not that much of an issue. I'm going to take... I was going to wait for me to make a bunch of drugs, but I can just take the drugs I have on hand and then replace them with new drugs that I make. So this looks good. I'll take the eggs as well. Oh, you know? There we go. Eggs and then as many joints. Man, these eggs are heavy. Oh yeah, 3 kilograms. Well, they're from giant crabs, so I suppose that makes sense. All right, except I don't mind if I'm immobilized. And then everybody's briefly going to be set to high priority haul. Just so that I can get this trip underway. Okay, you're ready. I'm going to visit. Make sure never to click give a gift, because that would essentially sell Raptor into slavery. It's actually a ridiculously easy mistake to make, which bothers me to some degree, how easy it is. So, fulfill trade order. There it is. We now are allies. And then do a traditional trade. And I'm looking to not only... So I'm going to buy some of their gold because I don't have another source of gold. And then I brought a bunch of silver with me so I could purchase stuff. I'm pretty tempted to buy their wood. Yeah, I'll buy their wood. And transport home. And we'll land here. Okay, there it is. What a lovely sidecast, or aid cast. Simply magnificent, if you ask me. All right, now we could take everybody off of Priority Hall. The quest has been completed, and we have a steadfast ally from the Rebel Farmers. And it wasn't too expensive. It was the low cost of 3 bionic hearts, which is not, it's not that cheap, but given that I have the materials, that's fine. And then as a net result, we do end up with a lot of wood to be able to keep my braziers of my throne room burning. And then also, if we had a solar flare that was really critical, we could set campfires. Don't underestimate the utility of campfires. Trust me. You'll when you need them, they're nice to have. Safeguarding allies. Oh. So we're that kind of ally. Hey, an animus stone. I don't see many of them. So, let's see. A mech cluster will deploy. I need to guard 8 tribespeople as prisoners? They'll be sick with blood rot. I'll gain 13 heavy archers under my control. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not a high-capacity hotel prison. You ask too much. So that will be a very solid no from me. I'll have to keep a close eye on ambient temperature. We're getting to a point... Oh, you cheeky little crab. Stealing food that wasn't supposed to be yours. We're getting to a temperature where we are going to need to ramp up our heater use. Oh, speaking of heaters, let's get the bedroom-based heaters on. I don't think there's dead power close enough to be for her to use. So I'll add one more dead power thing in there. There. So all the bedrooms have at least one heater. And we're almost done hauling our goods inside. Now, it's not quite cold enough to warrant turning on the freezer heaters, but we will eventually be heading in that direction. Let's see about these corpses that I've had for like ages. Let me just burn them up. Great. Oh, and Raptor, let's give you an assault rifle. You've had a sniper rifle this whole time, and that's not what I want. So this deep drill has been exhausted. Guess I can go back to plasteel now. We have a decent amount of uranium in order to be able to rearm. So plasteel will be where it's at. I do hope that Raptor's able to find something. Whoa. Okay. So Randy did double down. I laughed at his aim, so he hit me again with an ancient metal. Oh man. Not only was it ancient metal, so it's virtually useless to me, but it broke my yeah, it broke me. And as a net result, we have a sun-blocking, significantly dangerous mech cluster. Randy, you got me. Oh, you got me. With centipedes and assemblers. One of these assemblers is assembling centipedes, which is scary. I don't see any mortar blocking, though. So I suppose I am going to man the mortars right now and see what I can do to shell while staying fortified with everybody. Get everyone home. Oh, what a hit. What a hit. If you think about how big this map is, right? It's like, what, 400 by 400? And the only things I didn't want to hit were like a 30 by 20. the chances of both of these meteorites landing near the monument were pretty low. And then the chances of them hitting the monument were also very, very low. It's incredibly troll. All right, so I'm going to set these to hold fire until they're both ready to fire at the same time. Let go of hold fire. And we'll aim for here, between the auto charge turrets and the mech assembler. Well, I broke something. And we have a manhunter. Oh, you know what? A manhunter pack of Garu? Yeah. All right, Randy. Thank you. So Garu, if you're wondering, because I haven't seen a lot of Garu in this series, they're sort of like dromedaries. They're sort of a pack animal that's dangerous because they're fast. But I'm going to have my guys come off of the turrets for now, because these Garu might be able to do some damage. Well, Randy is pretty random. He was like, oh, I don't want the mechs to die to mortar shells. Let me just send a swarming pack of Garu. Part of me feels like I should try to keep shelling. Okay, all the Garu are dead. They did a pretty good job. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of Garu here that didn't spoil from Scaria, but they're going to burn anyway because of the incendiary, the Inferno turrets, which sucks a bit. But yeah, that's actually, the Garu really didn't take down very many. They took down like 4 Scythers and like a Lancer. And given that these assemblers are just going to be cranking out additional mechs, that's a drop in the bucket. All right, so let's keep shelling them then, huh? I'd like to break the mech assembler for the centipedes, if possible. The sunblocker doesn't worry me as much because I have so much unstable power cells that even without solar power, I'd be somewhat okay. But yeah, my mortar guys are really dropping the ball there. They keep shelling this area down here even though I'm aiming up top. There it is. Right on the centipede assembler. Good job. So it's going to assemble some Scyther and pikemen, but that's not particularly scary to me. So then the next thing I want to do is to start clearing these guys out. Now, interestingly, there's not a good approach because of these turrets. Unless I use EMP shells, which I probably will. So let's go do that. Hippie, JD, and Gabe. And it's 8 a.m., so let's have everyone eat. It's too bad I don't have the aerodrone salvo to call. All right, Phoenix, you're gonna man the mortar here for EMPs, and Bash, you're gonna man the other one. I'm gonna set both to hold fire, and then everybody else, you're gonna come up this way. So basically the idea is to hit the auto turrets here with EMP shells and then snipe them down. No, I don't want to be within the mini turret range either. It's gonna be a little tricky. Oh, we definitely got their attention. Let's back up. The pikemen are probably the most annoying because they have ridiculously good range. Good, he missed. I don't want to start firing my my EMPs at them though, because I don't want to waste the adapt. Okay, there's one pikeman down. If I could keep picking on the pikeman, that would be ideal. There's also the possibility of Raptor going in for a berserk hit on one of the centipedes. So I'm going to have him... It's dangerous, but I'm going to have him do that. Let's back up. None of them are within range right now. Raptor, get behind some cover. I'm getting a little bit too much attention from these mechs. Oh, good shot, though. Good shot. Alright, this centipede will be my target for Berserk. Or maybe this, yeah, that one, because it's more healthy. So, huge risk, because I had to expose myself briefly to the turrets. But now I've got these mechs with divided attention. Whoa, nope. We're still getting fired on. Alright. Bash. You two. EMP is away. We're gonna make a power play now. Now let's back up before I get hurt. Here it comes. Oh, one of them was explosive. Hippie got clipped. Just a bruise. Nothing I can't ignore. And that is dead. Alright, what I really want is those, these big turrets stunned. I don't much care about the smaller stuff. I can't push the big turrets until they're taken out of the equation. Terrific shot, though. And now this Lancer's unarmed. Alright, come on, come on. Okay, so they're adapted. Ouch. And Gabe just took a really nasty arm hit. Alright, let me back up and patch him up. And unfortunately for you all, I'm going to have to conclude the rest of this fight next episode. I'm out of time. I know how I feel about cliffhangers, but I went a little over time and still there's a lot more fight left to be had. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell, everybody.